Hey guys, what's up? Today we're talking ASE testing. So this morning we're on our way into town. I actually have a couple of ASE tests I have to take this morning. I'm taking the engine performance test and I'm taking the engine repair test. So if you're taking ASEs, I'm a little mixed on my feelings on the ASE tests. And that's because, well, I think it does mean something. It's important that you get them because what they're trying to do is just set a standard across the board for mechanics to, like, you have to have this baseline knowledge to be doing this work, and it's kind of a peace of mind for the customer because then it's like, oh, the guy that's working on my car isn't just some hack. But like anything, I think that the ASE tests are, it's just a standard. How much can they actually regulate a standardized test that everyone across the nation is taking? Not a whole lot. For example, if you ask me what my least favorite thing to do is, I would tell you electrical. I've been on my own in the shop as a flat rate technician for almost 2 years, not quite 2. It'll be 2 years around Christmas time. So there's a lot of stuff I'm still learning. I learn every day as I go, and there's a lot of stuff still that I'm not quite confident in yet, and that's just how it is. And like one of those things would be like CAN bus codes, communication. I can figure the stuff out, but it takes a long time and a lot of me struggling and wanting to just burn stuff, and it's hard for me. I struggle with it. So if you ask me what my least favorite thing to do is, I'd tell you electrical. Now, this is just my example. I already took the electrical ASE and I passed it. Like it was easy. And I'm okay at electrical stuff. Like I can do it if I really buckle down and focus and I have ample time, or I get my butt kicked and I spend way more than what I'm getting paid diag to figure it out. I can figure it out. It's just not something that I'm like super comfortable with yet. And so in my own opinion, for me to be electrical certified, that test should have been hard. And I got there and I was stressed about that test because I thought it was going to be tough. And it was like the easiest test I've taken, like one of the easiest ones so far. And after this one, I have 2 left. I'll have automatic trans and the air conditioning, and then I have all my ASEs. But it's just, so for someone who, I know that that's my weak point as a technician is like heavy electrical work is my like weakest link. But so for me to go in and take this test and get certified, ASE certified, and feel like the test was easy. Now, I don't want it to be impossible either. I get that. I just feel like not always that just because you're a professional technician or just because you have all your ASEs, there's not someone that doesn't have those things that's better than you. And I can guarantee you there's a whole slew of people out there that don't have an electrical ASE that could go circles around me with electrical diagnostics. And that's just how it is. I mean, you're young, you figure stuff out as you go, you get better. The more you work on stuff, the more comfortable you get. I still read a lot of stuff, just even in my spare time, just to get better at all of this stuff, you guys. I mean, there's stuff that I understand, and then I haven't done it in a while, and I kind of get rusty on it, so I'll read up on it just to kind of brush up. I got one big textbook from school that's like this thick, and I still open it up and read it. Because ultimately, the better you get, the more money you're going to make, and the more cars you can fix. But just a couple, I just wanted to kind of give a couple tips this week for the discussion on taking those ASE tests. And one of them is get them done right away. Most places, if you work at a dealership, will reimburse you for taking those, and you get a lot more money once you're done with all of them. So it might be frustrating. You spend your time studying and preparing and going and taking these tests, and you don't see the benefits right away, but eventually you're going to. And you're going to get a raise, and like at my dealer, I pay for the test up front, and then if I pass, they reimburse me for that test. So it's kind of an incentive for me to study and make sure that I do well. Which brings me to my second point, studying for your ASE. Point number 2, don't over-stress and just like freak out about these things because they're not really that hard. If you're in the automotive field and you're actively working in the field, and you brush up on it and go take a couple practice tests or read the books, you're going to be okay. So don't stress about it too much. Don't freak yourself out. You're going to be fine. Make sure you get a good night's sleep the night before. The last thing that's kind of a tip is, I don't care if those books are outdated. If you have the ASE books, or one of the older technicians that I work with, I borrow his books all the time because they're kind of expensive. It's like $250 to get the whole set, but I can just borrow them from him. But if you brush up on that stuff it doesn't matter if the books are a couple generations old or they've updated the books a little bit. It's still going to give you the same basic information, so don't feel like you have to go out and spend all your money and buy those books. The other thing is I found a website, it's called like myase.com or something like that, or Practice Guides ASE, and it actually gives you questions that are really similar to the test, and it comes straight out of those books. And it's free, and you pick your answer, and it'll actually grade it as you go, and if you get it wrong, it'll explain to you, you can read more. There's an option to like go to that page in the book and read about it. So that works great. Other than that, yeah, get those done as fast as you can, because ultimately you're the one that's going to benefit from it, because you're going to be able to get paid more. You get all your ASEs, you're certified, pay me more. What do you guys think about the ASEs? By the way, me saying that these aren't that hard excludes the L1. I haven't taken that yet, and that's like your master certification test. I know that one's quite a bit. So other than that, this has been this week's weekly discussion. By the way, stay tuned. I got a bunch of new recording equipment that's going to make the quality of these videos just like skyrocket. I've spent the last week or so just trying to figure out how to use it and get comfortable in practicing. It's not going to affect these videos too much, as these are just kind of one stationary shot. But if you watch the reviews or the DIYs or anything like that, it's going to make those videos so much better. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Drop a comment, like, subscribe. See you next time.